Warning, listening to Unleash Your Genius can be good for your health.
Symptoms may include looking and feeling better,
More energy, healthier kids, and increased productivity.
Unleash Your Genius podcast brings you the science, art, and philosophy of health, wellness,
Epigenetics, and lifestyle.
Hey, what's up, Unleash Your Genius listeners? I'm very excited today to officially announce that we actually have a co-host who is my wife, Yvette. You may have heard her on the last episode, and she's here to help us out and to share her knowledge and wisdom as well. So welcome, Yvette.
Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. I'm Yvette Peterson. Really excited to join Dr. Brian and all of you on the Unleash Your Genius podcast to listen and learn with the rest of you and be able to hopefully shed a bit of a female touch on the podcast.
So the point of the podcast is really to help people, change their lifestyles and to get healthy, lose weight or gain more energy. That's really the goal of the podcast. And to have my wife here as well, she's, she pretty much controls the kitchen and, does a lot of the shopping. And so bringing in real life strategies for everyone to share. We just recently did a poll through our email listeners as to what they were struggling with. And pretty much the number one answer was that people are confused about what to eat, how to exercise. They get so much conflicting advice. And so our goal on the podcast is really to break that down, not only through our personal struggles and successes trying to lead a healthy lifestyle, but also through the fantastic guests that we have. As we've shared already, many professionals and doctors and health coaches, their perspective on health and wellness. And today is no exception. As you'll find out, we have two fantastic guests for you guys today in the Merrymaker Sisters.
Excited.
Emma and Carla Papas, who are known more as the Merrymaker Sisters, are health and happiness advocates. They're passionate entrepreneurs and health coaches, and they're on a mission to merrymake over the world. They help over 1.5 million people every year live healthier, happier lives through their books, through their podcasts, real food recipes, articles, and speaking engagements. And they really choose to add more fun to every day to create a less stressed life. Currently, they live on the Gold Coast in Australia, and if they're not on their laptops, you'll find them doing yoga, walking the beach, or at a local cafe. So welcome to the podcast, Emma and Carla.
Yay, thank you so much for having us, guys. I'm super excited.
Super pumped to be here.
Awesome. Say, look, I know I gave you guys an introduction, but can you tell us a little bit more about you?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, in a nutshell, a macadamia one, because they're the queen of the nuts. We basically are bliss followers and magic creators, and we just help people live healthier, happier lives. As you said, Brian, we love doing this, and it all started for us back in 2012 when we changed our lives through real food, and then we continued on with that journey with changing our mindset and changing our relationships and changing what we do every day just to add more fun, to add more joy. And so we try to share that with everyone who follows us or reads our articles or reads our books. So that's kind of what the Merrymaker Sisters is all about, getting merry.
Awesome. So tell us about you're talking about food. What was your journey like initially? Did you guys have health challenges? And where did you get your information from?
Yeah, well, we'd always kind of been interested in food. We loved cooking when we were young. We loved food, but we also both developed, like many other teenage girls, this really negative relationship with food and our body image. Carla was dieting since 10 or 11, and I just I think it was when I was 17, started binge eating and vomiting, and that kind of went on till I was 24. And then at that same age, I actually discovered that I was gluten intolerant. And I kind of just went on this kind of like Google search wormhole, like reading about gluten-free. And then my work colleague told me about this paleo lifestyle. Then the gym, someone told me about it. And I got a random forward about it too. And like this was in the space of a week. So it kind of was like, oh, I've got to look into this. So I started reading just like blogs and stuff. So like I can't remember who was
Mark's
Belly Apple. I think then I got the book, the Paleo Solution, is that the book? By Rob Wolf. And I mean, I just started sending all these articles to Carla, and it made sense to her too. So we both started eating this way, and it was just like the physical benefits were awesome, but it was the mental stuff that was the real magic. It was kind of like all that negative stuff with these, like, the body image stuff, like the dieting, the binge eating and the vomiting, like that kind of just like went away. It was just like, okay, we can focus on real food, nourishing our bodies, focus on good stuff instead of focusing on bad stuff. And it was just like our whole mindset around food changed, which just like opened our eyes up to so much. And I guess like since then, we don't actually follow a strict paleo diet. We're kind of like more focused on real food, doing what's right for us as individuals, because, we're all so different. But yeah, we still read lots online, pretty much just like articles and podcasts. We listen to a few podcasts, and yeah, kind of just like more intuitive eating as well, like going by what we feel, like how do we feel today when we've eaten this, and like kind of just like going off that. So even though it might be a health food, if we don't feel crash hot, maybe we don't choose to eat that the next day.
Right.
And it's so cool that you guys had each other to support each other in the beginning of that, right? It makes it so much easier. Do you find that you eat the same thing? Like, I know in our family, like some of us, I, for example, cannot eat dairy, and one of our daughters cannot eat dairy. Brian is okay with dairy, and so you have to kind of. Do you live together? Is that do you? Do. Right.
Yeah,
so
we
in
do
between,
live
how do
together.
you work that out?
I mean, so which is Carla, I'm like intolerant in a few other foods. Like we both don't eat gluten, we both don't eat refined sugar, but I'm also dairy intolerant, and I'm intolerant to almonds, which kind of sucks sometimes because like there's so many treats and delicious things that have almonds, and then a few other things like that I just found out through a food panel test. And Emma does eat a little bit of dairy. I think like it's just like it's super easy for us. We eat like we'll have a main, like if we're cooking, we'll have like the similar base, like whether it's like the same meat and the same veg, and then if we want to add, if Emma wants to add a bit of dairy, she can, like a bit of cheese or whatever. Right. But I just choose not to. It's we always like say, like when we cook like at home, it's real quick, it's real simple, it's really easy, so it's not fancy at all.
Yeah, and then and Carla's also allergic to eggs, and I think I kind of like I used to eat eggs at home a lot, but we don't really buy eggs and we don't eat them anymore. But like,
sorry, Emma.
I know, but if I could do it if I wanted, but I kind of like when I go out for brekkie or lunch sometimes, like I'll get yummy eggs. Like that's like my favorite breakfast, savory eggs. So I'll always make sure I do that. And like we love going out for food as well. I think it kind of comes with the food blogger, the recipe developer, that sometimes you can get sick of cooking because it's your job and it's your work, and like we love doing it, but sometimes like, man, I just want to like get someone to cook me some food
and not watch up.
And it's so good. I mean, like, this lifestyle is becoming so mainstream that we are lucky enough to be living on the Gold Coast. And I mean, like, every second cafe is either like a healthy whole food cafe, or they have healthy whole food options as well. So, I mean, like, it's pretty tempting to just be like, let's just go out.
So you guys were pretty hardcore paleo for a while, and then now you're kind of lax on it a little bit. Do you think it was important to be that militant or strict in the beginning, or?
Yeah. I mean, for us, like, as we said, like, when we first started eating paleo, that was the thing that really helped us get over, like, those negative mindsets around food and around dieting and all of that, because we always thought it was, like, about restricting yourself, like, that you shouldn't have that and you can't have this and you can't have that. But then when we went on paleo, even though the list of no's is, like, quite, like, extensive, like, if someone looked at that and they'd be like, oh, my God, what am I going to eat? Like, there's no to everything. But for us, it wasn't. Like, it made us it made our relationship with food better. But then as time went on and we started blogging about it and sharing more about it, the stress with eating came back in because we felt us more focused on the restrictions of paleo instead of like the abundance of good food. And that was why we kind of made the decision to just ditch the label.
Yeah, and like, also, I'll chime in here. Also, like, it was just kind of losing the fun of it. Like, we just wanted, like, we started realizing that, you know, like, what's everything for? Like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we creating this? Why are we putting this content out there in the world? Like, we just want to make our lives and the people who come to our blog and our app and our whatever we have, our books, to enjoy whatever they're doing more, like to have more fun. And we realized that like the paleo label just like kind of was sucking out a little bit of joy. So it was like, okay, how can we change this? And it's just about like being a little bit more relaxed about everything. Like if we want to go out and have like organic corn chips and guacamole, we're going to bloody enjoy them, enjoy every bite. And you know what? I might even order a margarita to go with it and not just commit to that decision. Enjoy that amazing meal. Yeah. Have fun with my friends.
And not feel guilty about it. Because, like, there's so many, like, a lot of people who we see, like, who, like, email us or who comment, they're, like, they feel guilty about the food they've eaten, like, an hour ago, yesterday, last week. And they're just dwelling on it. And that was our lives back in 2012. We were just forever feeling guilty about food, and it was like all this time wasted on feeling guilty about food that we'd eaten in the past that we couldn't even change. So like for us it just doesn't make sense, and to change that just creates freedom like in your mind to create fun and create better lives.
Yeah, but I think also another reason why paleo is a good starting point, it's like because you do cut out so much, it's kind of like that resetting thing.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you can introduce food slowly to see what suits you and what doesn't suit you.
Yeah, I guess if you don't cut it out in the beginning, you don't really know. You know, as you're kind of adding it back in, you can judge how your body's feeling and go, oh, right, that didn't go down so well. I guess we're not doing that again.
Tequila isn't a daily thing.
Tequila's paleo, you know.
I know.
So I want to put you guys on the spot a little bit. I know you guys do a lot of speaking around the country and around in America. So I want you to imagine that you guys have been invited to speak in front of a big group of people that are just about to start some kind of a lifestyle challenge, you know, eating and exercising. What would be like 3 major points or 3 pieces of advice that you would want to cover in that speech to give this group the best chance of success?
Yeah, good question. I think there's so many things we could add, but just 3. I think one of them has to be adding more joy. So to not focus on, you know, like all that restriction and all that kind of like that the hard stuff of change, but like focusing on all the good stuff and focusing on like what like adding the joy.
Instead of taking away, what can you add to your life or what can you add to your plate that is good, that is going to bring you happiness? So focusing on that.
The next one I think is kind of like any kind of journey is to not compare yourself. I think we can kind of get stuck in this comparison game and like, you know, it might be comparing to your family or the people on social media, Instagram, Facebook. I mean, that is just like going to suck out every little bit of happiness and kind of like turn you backwards on your health journey. It's like if you kind of like just focus on yourself, focus inwards, focus on like how you can become a better version of yourself, a healthier version of yourself, instead of like comparing your journey to someone else's journey when really like we don't even know what the whole story is for them anyway.
Yeah, we always say that comparison is the thief of joy. We heard that really early in our journey, and it was such a huge like aha moment that helped us. Yeah, and it just like we and it's easy to fall back, like especially with everyone who does post the highlight reel on social media,
which we all do.
We all do it. Like yay, like let's celebrate that as well. Yeah. But it's easy to also fall back into that comparison game. But if you come back to comparison thief of joy, and then coming back to the first point of adding more joy, it just like it all connects really. And I think the third one would be like realizing that it's all about little steps. Like it's just like about small changes. Big, like having big goals and all that and big vision is really important as well. But just knowing that like one small little change every day is enough. Like you don't have to do everything at once. It could be that today you just focus on drinking more water, or tomorrow you might try eating no gluten. Like just focusing on the little things that you can do, because the little things are what add up.
Yeah, and it's so good if it's just a little thing, and I think people feel like they've actually accomplished something, and so you're kind of like patting yourself on the back all the time, as opposed to taking a huge chunk of something and then, you know, going into that whole kind of I suck, or why am I even doing it, you know, that kind of thing. So that's great. I love that.
Yeah, I like adding things first, right? Because it's so hard to take stuff away, but if you just start by adding things, and then you can give up the other stuff later if you have to.
Yeah, exactly. And like because when we started to be health coaches, that's when we first heard that, like, about crowding out. So it was like, instead of focusing on what's not in, like, add more to your plate or to your life, and then eventually the bad stuff, and I put that in inverted commas, will crowd out because you're just putting so much good in there.
Right. Hey guys, you know what, we put together the Unleash Your Genius podcast to help people, break these chains that I think that our modern lifestyle has put on our health. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we all know that changing our lifestyle can be difficult. And I think stories of other people really help with this as well. Is there a time that you guys struggled when you started to change your lifestyle at all?
Yeah, definitely. I think like the one that really comes to mind, and this is like same story for both of us, is when we first started eating paleo, and we even had started our blog, we'd realized that we still had the nasty habit of drinking and loving Diet Coke. And I mean, not just like one glass a day. Like, I think I was bloody drinking like 2 liters of Coke a day sometimes. I was 100% addicted. It was my vice. It was like I was working in a job that I wasn't happy in, and it was like my exciting point in the morning and in the afternoon to get my can of Diet Coke. And it was so hard to give up this habit and to like get rid of it. And do you know what? Like, the main reason I did give up was because I was like, man, like, I want to make this Merrymaker thing a full-time thing. Like, I can't go be drinking Diet Coke when I'm promoting a healthy lifestyle. Like, I need to stop. People are watching me. Exactly. So, you know what? Like, it was...
We also read articles about, like...
Oh, yeah, geez.
Like, as we, like, did more and more research, like, it just kept popping up, like, the bad things about Diet Coke, and it kind of just scared us so much. And also because some of like the side effects, I kind of started noticing, I was kind of feeling like weird stuttering thing that I kind of developed, and I was like, that must be the Diet Coke. I don't know if it was, but it stopped since then. But we got rid of that by just swapping it to sparkling water and lemon juice, like freshly squeezed lemon juice. So I think like, as you know, we mentioned before, adding more good, so it's like adding the goodness of sparkling water and lemon crowded out the Diet Coke habit. Yeah. And also doing it together was great. I mean, like, you know, when you're doing something with a support group or like a friend, partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, it's always that much easier. So, but that was definitely the hardest and most long, like, you know, the longest change.
Yeah.
It took a long time.
Like, I wanted to give up probably for like 6 months before I actually did give up.
Mm.
And what would it take for you to pick up a Diet Coke now?
Oh, right?
It's like in a different life.
It's not even, it's poison, isn't it? Like, it's just like this weird black stuff that
it doesn't even look, it's not even like a drink. Like, I don't, like, I just think, I'm like, why would, like, I think about the coin, like when you put like a dirty coin in Coke, I'm like, why would I put that in my body?
And once you know it, you can't unknow. And
exactly.
Yeah, we had our younger daughter, or our oldest of our daughters, is 15. And she was the same. She used to love Coke. And when she originally had to give it up, she did the same thing. She had the sparkling water, but she used to drink it really fast. And she said the feeling that it had in your throat kind of reminded her of lemonade. So she always used to glug the sparkling water down. And, I don't know what it would take for us to have Coke right now.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe someone gave you like
have to be really, really thirsty somewhere in the middle of the desert somewhere.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. Like, that wouldn't even quench your thirst, would it? It probably would make you sick. I don't know.
I think I gave up Coke for a year, and then we were celebrating our anniversary, and I thought, oh, what the heck? I'm just going to have like a rum and Coke.
In Byron, looking out at the beach.
And then I had like 2 sips and I realized that I'd broken my streak. I was like, oh.
Yeah. It's like you'd rather just have like a cocktail with like, I don't know, make it at home or have like just the shot of alcohol.
Yeah.
I do struggle to pass up a mojito, that's for sure.
I know. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? I think like
you can make healthier cocktails.
Yeah, and because it's like the alcohol, it's not like you're just enjoying it for the, like, let's be honest, like you're enjoying it for like the little kick it gives you, the alcohol kick. So like I don't get that from Diet Coke anymore. Like I think I used to get some sort of chemical thing, obviously, but I don't know, no reason to drink it anymore. So I'm glad I stopped.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. So you guys have written a cookbook.
Yeah.
How hard is that?
Oh my gosh. So this was actually our second cookbook that we self-published. So our first one was called Make It Merry, and that one was a journey, and we thought we'd learned everything we needed to learn in order to make another cookbook and it to be much smoother. But no, that wasn't going to be the case. No. But this, I mean, a lot goes into writing a recipe book. I mean, there's 95 recipes in there, so it's like writing the recipes, testing the recipes, making the recipes. Then, like, we worked with a photographer to photograph them and style them. And then, I mean, the editing that goes into it is just outrageous because it's like, imagine if it said 1 cup instead of 1 tablespoon. So we freaked out about that. So, yeah, it took all up. I mean, we started working on it the start of last year, and it just got finished, like, I mean, it arrived from Hong Kong the start of January this year. So it took us probably 9 months to get it from start to finish. But the end product of this one is just, we're so happy with it. And like everything we learned from the first one, we did implement everything that we learned into this one. It's just that there were delays with this one that we couldn't really.
And there were just different issues because it was a different way of doing it. Like we were working with offshore printing, and we'd never like got anything into the country, so there was like customs. We're like, oh, this is all very confusing
and all new. So.
Yeah, but you know what? Like even though like the process was kind of hard work, it's just like when a project comes together and when it's receives really good feedback, you're like, okay, that's why you go through all the hard stuff because you get to this like awesome stage. So we couldn't be happier with the end product. I mean, like, it's pretty awesome seeing people sharing recipes from it, people sharing selfies with the book. Like, it's the best thing. It's the best to see that. It's like all our hard work was worth it.
I'm really excited to actually get this one because I'm usually a hardcore Pinterest recipe person.
Oh, yeah.
I don't very often buy recipe books to have in my house. However, your book looks amazing, and the difference is that I've noticed is that the pictures that people are showing of the recipes they're making in the book actually look like the recipes that are in the book.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that where someone makes something and it's like nailed it, you know, when the people say nailed it and it just looks terrible. But what they're making from the book looks like what's in the book, and it looks awesome. Like all the recipes look great.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I think it's because, like, we do just go for that quick and easy, but, like, has to be delicious. Like, there are 3 rules that we stick to. And it's you don't want to spend hours in the kitchen, and you don't want to have to go and buy a zillion ingredients that you've never heard of. Like, you just don't want to do that. And that was the goal with Get Merry, like, just to make it easy for people to make healthy meals and to surprise and delight them. The amount of people who are like, I can't believe this is good for me. I can't believe how good it tastes. It's like, that's what we want.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to get mine. I'm looking forward to having one in my kitchen.
So a lot of people find cooking difficult. Did you guys grow up cooking a lot? I mean, you know, how did you learn how to cook and do all this stuff? Like,
I think like growing up, we did always enjoy cooking. Like, you know, a thing we would do on the weekends when we were little, would be like, we'd go out with mum, buy the ingredients, then we'd choose a recipe to make and we'd cook it for our family. Like, it usually would be like an unhealthy sweet treat, like cookies or vanilla slice or something like that.
Or a packet mix.
Or a packet mix. But we loved the
being in the kitchen.
Yeah, we loved cooking and like kind of like, I remember like doing funny things, like, you know, like pretending we owned a cafe, like, you know, like little stuff that you do when you're a kid, like make believe stuff. So we always loved doing that. And then like in high school, we both did food science. Was that what it was called?
Yeah.
Did you do it the whole 4 years?
No.
I did it for like 4 years straight. Like I loved food science in high school because I was like, this is fun. Like it's easy and like you get to eat. So, like that was good. And then I guess it just came back. Like the passion kind of came back when we realized that you can make zoodles, like you can turn zucchinis into noodles and chuck the pasta. Like that was really exciting for us. I mean, no one was doing that back in like 2012 when we first started kind of investigating and exploring this way of living. And it was just fun for us. Like,
yeah, we just got so excited when like we'd make something because we grew up like making cakes with like sugar and flour and butter.
I mean, you always loved cakes.
Loved baking. Like, I would bake cakes for my friends for their birthdays, and I would do all of that. And I
all unhealthy.
Yeah, all unhealthy. But then when I like figured out, or I would see someone else make a sugar-free, gluten-free, dairy-free cake, I'd be like, what? Like, you can use, what is coconut flour? What is this? Like, and I just got really excited about it. And that's why we started sharing it, because we were just so excited about it. Like, more people need to know.
And it's so funny now, because, like, now it's like you feel like everyone knows. I know they don't, but, like, more people do.
Because we're just around.
Yeah, but like when we first discovered it, it was like, oh my gosh, like this is the best thing ever. So we like you literally couldn't get us out of the kitchen at that stage. I mean, it's changed a little bit now because it's like, oh, we're too many recipes. But that's what happens when you create a recipe book. So but yeah, it's super fun. And I guess like for people who don't like cooking or are kind of nervous, it's just to kind of like take away. No, I'll focus on the good. Just like add the fun. So like get your friends together and like cook together, or like do like a challenge, like choose one new recipe each and every week. Like you can just start with small little steps. I think it's just all about getting excited about being in the kitchen, getting the family involved. I think is always a good thing. I mean, sometimes it's harder to do that.
There's more cleaning up.
Yeah, I mean, and the cleaning up, buy a dishwasher. Yeah. We don't have a dishwasher.
Yeah, we need a dishwasher. Right. And of course, like picking easy recipes that are gonna taste good, like, and that's the best when you can make something in 20 minutes for dinner and you've got dinner on the table like that, and that's faster than going out driving to a takeaway and bringing the takeaway back.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's like we make it up that it's harder in our heads than it actually is. Like, we do it too. Like, we're exactly the same as everyone else. Like, we'll be like, I just want to go get a takeaway salad. Like, it's healthy, but it's still takeaway.
Right.
Like, I could make something for, like, 1/10 of the cost, and it will probably be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
What about meal? Do you guys plan your meals for the week?
Yeah. We probably used to when we had full-time, like, jobs back in 2013. We definitely we always planned because, we didn't have the luxury and the freedom to like be at home now and prep dinner in the morning and things like that. So prepping and having a meal plan, they're like two things we say to everybody like that is like time well spent. Set aside an hour. That's all you need to like prep your dinner menu, and then like do a bit of chopping, do a bit of like spiralizing if you want. You can pretty much cook every recipe, like a dinner recipe, and freeze it, and it will be like fine to defrost. Like people always ask us, like, can I freeze it? Like, yeah, you can freeze like pretty much everything except salad. Like we just don't freeze salad.
Sometimes I even freeze salad.
Yeah, only stir fry it up. Like you can like freeze it. So I think setting aside an hour to 2 hours every Sunday or whatever day suits you to do that planning and that prep is gonna just like save you so much time, and you're gonna feel super organized, and then you're not gonna feel overwhelmed, because I think when you're trying to make changes, the overwhelm or the stress might like creep back in, and then that like sets you kind of like up to not like come through with the healthy changes you want to make. So if you're organized, you're way more likely to achieve that goal.
Yeah, and not bail out and just go, bugger it, I'm ordering pizza.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You guys have a meal plan on your website or something that...
Yeah, we have a free meal plan. Everyone can go and grab it at themerrymakersisters.com/free, and it's 7 days, 15 recipes, meal plan, shopping list, prep tips, all that. So get started there.
Nice, thanks.
Excellent.
So what kind of exercise do you guys do? Do you?
We love Pilates. Oh my gosh, like we're a little bit like I don't know, we've kind of had these
We need to
obsessive
make t-shirts. I heart Pilates.
Yeah, I think like looking back, we've had these obsessive natures with exercise, and I don't know if that's actually not that healthy. But I feel like Pilates and yoga is a really good obsession. But you know, we've gone from like as kids, like in high school, we both swam like, you know, the swimming kids. We were
did
like
squad training 7 hours a week.
Yeah, like something ridiculous. We literally stank like chlorine. Like what the hell? But then we moved on to like gym, like just hanging out, doing Les Mills programs. Loved them, but then you get sick of them too. And then I think we moved on to like CrossFit and running, and like realized that, man, we're doing more damage than good with this, and it just didn't suit our bodies. And then we just kind of stopped for a little while. We just like needed to like get back to like, I don't know, we realized that we just had developed these unhealthy relationships with exercise.
We
and
weren't having fun anymore.
Yeah, and we were over exercising.
Right.
So it's kind of been this journey over the last 2 years of just like realizing that, okay, let's just do exercise that we actually really love, like that feels good, that's fun, that we're excited to go to, because, you know, this isn't a chore. This is like a part of our day that we're like dedicating to ourselves, like for, you know, body, mind, spirit. So we just find that Pilates and yoga like ticks all those boxes.
Yeah, and it makes you like, actually our yoga instructor was talking about this the other day, and it just made so much sense. Like that hour of exercise isn't just for you, because like it makes you a better person. Like you leave that yoga studio or that workout
for
feeling
everyone else
healthier, and then you're nicer to your family, you're nicer to your friends, and you're more productive, and you just love life more. And that's the feeling. If there's an exercise that gives you that feeling, like keep doing that.
Yeah. I think that's that's another motivator, I think, because, you know, like we all want to be there for our families, our kids, our parents, our siblings, our partners, like we really put them, you know, sometimes we put them above us, and like I always recommend to put yourself first, and then you'll be able to fill their cups up after. But like I think if you add that other motivator, like that'll really get you going and really get you inspired to go work out in a fun way.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah, you know what I've noticed, that even because you probably feel better after that yoga or the Pilates, you know, like the after feeling it feels good. So even if you don't want to do it that moment, you focus on how you feel afterwards, and that oftentimes get you through that.
I'm definitely a lot more smiley after my yoga, I think.
Yeah.
It's like magic.
It's like blissed out. You're like,
you're like, oh my gosh, the world is amazing.
Yeah, everything just looks brighter and more like fun.
Yeah,
and
you're
like,
more aware of everything.
I don't know. There's something special about yoga, especially yin yoga. We've been starting. We started that last year, and I mean it's very slow. I mean you're in positions for like 4 minutes or something outrageous like that. So it's like a whole hour of meditation, really, like moving meditation, but you definitely feel very good after that.
Yeah, I try and do my yoga every morning if I can, before everybody wakes up, so when it's nice and cool still and quiet. Do you guys have a morning routine or something that you follow, or ritual that you follow?
Yeah, it's not really like a ritual, but like we do like a similar routine every morning, and that is like wake up, and I do like some breathing exercises. It's literally just like breathing really deeply, and then getting ready for either a Pilates or yoga class, go to that for an hour, and then we go and grab a coffee together and like sit down and enjoy the coffee. Or like we have our cafe that we go to is right in front of the beach, so we might sit outside and look at the ocean and just like talk about how epic the world is. Try to not get into like work speak early on in the day, because we live together and because we go to Pilates,
we hang out way too
much. Like it's easy for us to forget like that we're sisters as well, and that like we need to work on that relationship and just kind of like chilling out and not bringing work into every aspect. So try not to talk about it over coffee. It sometimes comes.
Let's be honest. But another thing that I've kind of started doing, which I learned from who did I learn it from? I can't remember. Guy Lawrence, I think, from 180 Nutrition. And he does this thing where each morning he wakes up and he connects to gratitude straight away. So he'll like think of like something he's grateful for, whatever it might be, every single morning. So it's like, you know, before you get on your phone, before you are rushing to go to yoga, or before you're getting dressed and thinking about your to-do list, which might be just like driving to yoga, it's still thinking about your to-do list. So he recommends like getting up and literally sitting up on your bed and just like connecting with that gratitude. And I think like
that feeling it,
yeah,
too,
and
not just not just thinking I'm grateful for the fresh air, I'm grateful for the water, I'm grateful for my family, like trying to like really like go inward to that like heart space or wherever you feel that gratitude, and going into that feeling, because like it's only one thing to think it, but when you can like feel it, like that's like even more magical.
Yeah, and I think like for me that's like meditation. Like I know there's so many benefits of meditation, and I used to do it like, you know, the 10 minutes a day, and I just found like it was becoming this thing that like I didn't really want to do anymore. So it was becoming like this like thing I'd force myself to do, and it's like I just like doing this like, you know, a minute or 2 minutes of just like feeling grateful. Right. And I feel like that just sets me up for like a good day.
Awesome. I love that.
Hey, do we have time for a bonus round, rapid fire?
Of course we do.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So do you guys have like a motto or a phrase that's important to you?
Yes. Follow your bliss.
And that's from Joseph Campbell. We can't claim that. He's a famous philosopher, but that just...
Well, follow your freaking bliss.
Oh, yeah. Follow your freaking bliss. Yeah. Boom.
There you go. Trademark that.
Yes, that's our motto that has been with us since the very beginning of Merrymaker Sisters, and still is very close to us now.
Okay. I think I know the answer to this, but maybe you'll surprise me. One word of advice that you were given and how that's helped you?
Ooh, can we have one each?
Yes.
Okay. Mine would be focus. So focus instead of being all scatterbrain. Just focus.
And mine would be look sideways. So it's a comparison game. Don't get stuck comparing yourself. We're all equal. We're all the same. Look sideways.
Was that what you thought?
Yeah, I was looking. I know that you guys talked about don't compare to other people earlier. So
yeah, pretty much same one.
What's your favorite book and your favorite other tool, like a podcast or anything like that?
My favorite book is Big Magic. I'm getting in there quick in case Carla's going to steal it. Big Magic. Well, I read that first, so it is my favorite book. And by Elizabeth Gilbert. Oh, just the best book ever. Loved it. Couldn't put it down. Love those kind of books.
I think my book would be, I always get it wrong because I always call it The Heart of Love. Is that what it is?
I think it is.
Yeah, by Dr. John D. Martini. I can't remember. I think it's The Heart of Love or Heart of Matter. I don't know. Something like that. But anyway, it teaches you all about relationships and just kind of changed my viewpoint on relationships and how to treat other people. Podcast-wise, I'm not listening to any podcasts at the moment.
We used to.
Used to listen to Lewis Howes, School of Greatness. Used to listen to Founder, lots of business podcasts. But right now I kind of went off them, and I think it was because I was just consuming too much without taking enough action, in my own. So I just wanted to focus on taking action and steps forward rather than consuming.
Nice. What's Big Magic about?
Yeah, it's about
so good.
I mean, it's kind of the idea of following your passion, but instead it's following your curiosity, I guess. And it's about creating. So I think, as people, as kids, we create a lot of stuff. We're drawing, we're exploring, we're seeing what we like, what we don't like. And then we come to, young adults and we get stuck in these 9-to-5 jobs, keeping the family house going, paying the bills, and we forget to focus our energy, even the tiniest of percent, on doing something creative and going on this journey of following the fun and following what you just love to do. And it's just this amazing story of how Liz I guess works and how she creates and fun stories. She's the most amazing storyteller. So the whole book is kind of reminiscing about these conversations she's had or experiences. I mean, there's a little bit of spiritual side to it. And I think it's just a great positive message. I mean, her motto is what does she say she is? She's a optimistic something. I know she's unapologetically optimistic, and I love that about her because, you know, like when you are a positive person, sometimes you can cop a bit of flack from people. It's like, you know, like you just always see the good in everything. Like there's not always good in everything, and it's like, you know what? That's how I am, and I don't care. So I think like I just really related to her, and it's all about magical living, and I think, you know, life is one big magical journey. Like
we live on this weird planet that's floating in the air. Like what? How did we get here?
Yeah, and I think it's a really easy thing to forget. I mean, I forgot for many years. And I was, you know, still that positive person, but I still forgot. And I forgot that I actually could have fun and add joy to my day every day, and that I deserved to be happy and I deserved to live the life I always wanted to live. And I think that book kind of just like puts it all in there, and it was just so good to read. I'm going to read it again, I think.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to check that out. Thanks.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
So I know you guys are running out of time. What I want to share with our listeners how they can find you. But, you know, what do you guys, I know you've got the book coming out soon. What else, what are you guys working on?
There's a new watch. I saw that.
Oh, yeah. It's very exciting. Everything that we have talked about, like our podcast, our recipes, can be found over at getmerry.com. But yeah, we're working, I mean, the book is still a big focus, and then we're working on bringing together like products and like, I guess, special merry things that bring more joy to everyone's lives and have brought more joy to our life as well. So we're kind of putting together like key products that are going to kind of do that. Our now watches being one, because living in the now was such a big lesson for us, and just like learning to be present and enjoy every moment, every minute, and that this really is all that we have, that when the future comes, it's now, and the past, we can't change it. It doesn't exist anymore. So we've got to move on. So I think that was such a big lesson for us. So those watches are actually from Steel Time Back, and we first found them, I mean, 2 years ago, and they just changed our lives, and they've been the best reminder. So we just wanted to really help spread their message.
And I guess also our recipe app. So that was something we launched last year. It was kind of like this project that was on and off again. And then we launched it, and it was just this huge success. It got to like #1 in the Australian App Store, like on day one. And we were like, oh, I didn't even know there was a like chart in the App Store. So, you know, like when those things just happen and you don't expect it, like we just love that app. And I mean, it's a lot of fun, like adding our recipes to it each and every week. So we're going to work on that in the next like couple months, trying to like fix the bugs and, you know, making it even better for everyone. So
a funner experience.
Yeah, like a more fun experience, and also just making it like everything really accessible. I mean, like, you know, when you get stuck at the supermarket, like it's the perfect app to like just look at the ingredients, boom, buy all this stuff, go home and cook a delish dinner.
Yeah,
so
you can carry it with you.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. So that's kind of our focus for the next few months, I think.
So what's the name of the app? Sorry.
Yeah. It's called Get Merry.
Oh, it's of course.
we make it easy.
I know.
Is there a hashtag in the front of that?
Oh yeah, hashtag Get Merry.
Hashtag Get Merry.
Always.
It's awesome. Well, hey, thanks, ladies. This has been so much fun.
Thank you
so much for having us. We've had a blast.
Thanks so much for listening to Unleash Your Genius with your host, Dr. Brian Peterson. For more great content and to stay up to date, visit unleashyourgenius.com. We'll catch you next time.